Playing in the snow puts Bill Badger in danger, but Rupert gets help from a clever bird in Rupert and the Snowman.
There's a little bear like you've never seen before, who's a lot of fun. Children everywhere go to love him more and more. He's the number one. There's a million stories to be told of the things that he's done, and he's gonna share them all with you, so come along. Rupert, Rupert the bear, everyone sing his name. Rupert, Rupert the bear, everyone come and join in all of his games.
Rupert asks his mother if he can go out and play in the snow. "You'd better take these buns with you," says Mrs. Bear, "and mind you move about and keep warm." It's very cold. Rupert keeps moving, thinking how right his mother is. On the common, he looks to see if anyone is about. Somebody is. "You're a sitting target," Edward tells him. "Too good to miss." "You watch out, Edward Trunk," warns Rupert. Edward is glad to see Rupert. They look for a good place to build a snowman. "How about here on the hillside?" suggests Rupert. They set to work. They soon have a fine, solid snowman, bigger than themselves. Edward has found 2 marbles in his pocket. "What about these for the eyes?" he says. The snowman takes on a character all his own. "I think I've got a 6-inch ruler somewhere," says Rupert. When he finds it and provides the snowman with a broad grin, they both feel they've done a very good job. They're much warmer too. "Let's eat our buns," says Rupert. A sudden noise behind them makes them think that their snowman must have come to life. But it's only a hungry crow who's feeling the cold. "You poor old thing," says Rupert kindly. "The snow's fine for us, but it's rotten for you, isn't it? Have a bit of my bun." The crumbs he offers disappear in a flash. Then, to Rupert's surprise, the whole bag disappears as well, to the top of a tall tree. "What a very intelligent bird," says Edward. "I'd better go home and get some more buns," says Rupert. Edward goes home too, to find a hat for the snowman. "Well, hello," says Rupert. "How nice to have company." He tells his mother about the splendid snowman and about what happened to the first lot of buns. "Winter's a hard time for birds," Mrs. Bear says. "Let's see what I've got in here." Rupert and his mother give the crow a substantial meal. The crow is much more cheerful when he and Rupert set off again. Mrs. Bear has found a pipe for the snowman too. Edward's mother has let him have an old hat of her own. The chums are very proud of their pipe-smoking lady snowman. "I wish we had a camera," says Rupert. "Look!" shouts Edward in horror. They can only watch helplessly as disaster strikes. All that work for nothing. The crow, however, has a suggestion to make. Rupert catches on. "He's quite right," he exclaims. "We've still got a snowman. Come on." This magnificent snowball can very soon be a bigger snowman than before. Except that it isn't really a snowball. "Podgy!" gasps Rupert in astonishment. "Where have you come from?"
"Over the hill,"
Podgy Pig tells them.
"I was tobogganing with Bill. We skidded and I fell off. Sorry I spoilt your snowman."
"Never mind," says Rupert. "We'll all make another. Let's go and find Bill. It'll warm you up." They leave Edward to make a start on the new snowman. Podgy shows Rupert where the toboggan skidded.
"This is where I fell out,"
he says. "And Bill went shooting off there," says Rupert. "Bill!" he calls. "Bill!" But there's no answer.
"Oh dear, do you suppose he's caught in all those brambles?"
says Podgy. Rupert crawls into the spiky thicket. What he finds frightens him very much. "Can Bill have fallen all the way down there?" he thinks. "You fetch help," he tells Podgy. "Bring somebody, anybody. I'll go down and look for him." Rupert flies to the foot of the drop, afraid of what he may find. "Bill," he whispers. Not a sound. Rupert's too scared to search the ground. He's startled by his friend the crow, who seems to say,
"Come on, let's go."
Oh, the relief to find Bill wedged high in the branches with his sledge. Bill is quite unhurt, but a little dazed. Rupert tells him that help is on the way. "Now don't you move," he says. Podgy has brought Edward and Sailor Sam to the rescue. "Rupert, where are you?" "Up here," Rupert shouts back. "Has anybody got a rope?" "Don't worry, Rupert," Sam tells him. "I'm on my way." But the tree won't take Sam's weight. "Hold on, Bill," Rupert tries to sound encouraging. "We'll soon have you down." Podgy goes to fetch a ladder. Edward thinks he ought to go and tell Bill's mother and try to stop her worrying. "Can you catch, Rupert?" shouts Sam. But Rupert finds that just hanging on is quite difficult enough. "Never mind, we'll have a ladder soon." Then the crow takes charge. "You clever old thing," Rupert says gratefully. "Well, this is a friend of mine," he tells the astonished Sam below. Very soon, Rupert has Bill safely tied onto his toboggan, with Sam issuing directions from the ground. The ladder takes the added strain, and Bill's back with his friends again. Then Rupert, with the danger past, comes gaily down to earth at last. And as the convoy homeward glides, its airborne escort proudly guides. Next day, Mrs. Bear calls Rupert as usual. "There's a surprise for you," she says. "You look out of the window."
In all of his games, Rupert, Rupert the bear, everyone come and join in all of his games.